Last week in Pittsburgh, the Cardinals crushed the Pirates on their way to a 4-game series sweep, scoring 37 runs while collecting a whopping 58 hits. The last 2 games, the Pirates pitching settled down behind starters Brian Meadows and Bronson Arroyo, and strong relief from Mike Lincoln, Scott Sauerbeck, and Mike Williams. Tonight, the rematch with the first-place Cardinals next. Yeah, the Cardinals lead the National League Central Division, and the Bucks begin a 7-game road trip. 4 with the Cardinals, the last 4 games of the season series. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk from Busch Stadium. The Cardinals coming off a 2-game series victory over the Philadelphia Phillies at the Vet. They win 2 out of 3 after sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bob, I think the Cardinals showed the Pirates just kind of how far away the Bucks are as far as the standings are concerned, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, they did. That was a series that they would like to forget about. They really kind of just blew them out of there in those 4 games, but they shouldn't forget about that series. It would have been a real good thing for them to sit down, especially that pitching staff, look at some of those ball games and see exactly, where are these pitches going that are getting turned around and sent the other way. What are we doing wrong? What do we need to change? And see if you can do it now for this series. There's only one way to go after that 4 games in Pittsburgh, and that's up.
How important do you think the final 4 games of a season series is?
I don't know. It's a test more than anything else. To see if you're good enough to at least make some kind of an adjustment. I don't mean come in here now and sweep them back or even take most of the games, but they have to keep these games, no matter who wins, a much lower scoring.
All right, the Buccos getting set to take on the Cardinals. Game 1 of the 4-game series. It's Kip Wells against Andy Bennis, and we'll have the starting lineups here at Busch Stadium coming up in just a moment. Jack Wilson, he's had a good season series against these Redbirds. Nobody's had a better year against the Cardinals than Adam Heisdu.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Giant Eagle, the official supermarket of the Pittsburgh Pirates. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold down easy. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. And by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
A look at the plaza outside Busch Stadium. The Bucks and Cardinals, first of 4, first of a 7-game road trip for the Bucks. They'll head to Milwaukee after this one, take on the Brewers at Miller Park over the weekend. Take a look at the Dodge starting lineups for the Pirates, a record of 54-70. Pokey Reese leads off again as that lineup has been shuffled since the injury to Giles. Jack Wilson hits in the 2-hole, then Jason Kendall. Ramos Ramirez, the cleanup man. Rob Makoviak in center. Craig Wilson in right. Kevin Young bats 7th. Adam Heisdu, who's just crushed the Cardinals this season, is in left. Kip Wells is on the hill.
And somebody is really going to have to pick up the run production, power numbers while Giles is not in there. And you mentioned Heisdu. Well, he's the natural guy you look to against the Cardinals. Let's hope he can keep it up, but he is hitting down there in that 8th spot.
All right, now let's take a look at the Jeep Cardinals starting lineup for manager Tony La Russa. They lead the division, 68 wins, 53 losses. Fernando Vina, J.D. Drew, Jim Edmonds, 1, 2, 3. Albert Pujols, Tino Martinez, and Edgar Renteria. He had 9 hits in the 4-game series at PNC Park. Kerry Robinson is in left field. Mike Matheny does the catching, and Andy Bennis, the veteran, is on the hill.
Obviously, they've lost power with Roland not being in there, but with Robinson, it still gives them an offensive weapon. He's a threat to steal bases, a lot more speed out there, and most likely a better left fielder than Pujols, so their outfield defense is better, although they've gone backwards a little bit defensively at 3rd without Roland.
Tony La Russa getting ready. So is Kip Wells. Game 1 of the series is next. Clinton feeling a bit better about this Pirates team. They finally snapped that losing string over the weekend at PNC Park against the Milwaukee Brewers. Bad enough the Cardinals whoop you for 4, and then the Brewers come in and beat you 10-3 on Friday, so that extended the losing streak to 7 straight games. The Bucks then shut out the Brewers on Saturday, and they won 3-2 yesterday afternoon as Mike Williams earned a new Bucco club record 35 saves. Jason Kendall had the day off, so he's feeling a lot better today and anxious to be back in the lineup. Andy Bennis leads his troops out. here at Busch Stadium, where he is 29-15 lifetime.
Take a look at the scouting report of Andy Bennis, and no longer a power pitcher. He'll throw just in the upper 80s, where he used to be a mid-90 type guy. So he's definitely changed, and what reflects that is those wild pitch numbers. In his career, he has 63 wild pitches. He's just thrown 2 wild pitches in his last 3 seasons, and his stuff is just not as good as it used to be, and you know, the catchers are able to handle it much easier. And of course, 5 days ago, he too hit the Pirates through 6 innings. So hopefully we'll have a little bit better offense against him tonight.
Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, knows that he needs the good defense behind Andy Bennis. It's brought to you by Pepsi. Kerry Robinson, as Bob mentioned, the speedster in left field. Jim Edmonds in center. Gold Glover. J.D. Drew in right. Albert Pujols at third base for Scott Rowland. Edgar Renteria is the shortstop. Fernando Vina won the Gold Glove at second base last year. Tina Martinez at first base is a good one defensively, and Mike Matheny outstanding behind the plate. For Andy Bennis, who has been sensational his last 4 starts, he's 2-0, an earned run average of 1.46. This is a guy who was seriously thinking about retiring.
Well, he had to totally change his way of pitching. He can't sit back there and overpower guys anymore. He really has to be a different type of pitcher, and I think this success that he's having doing this, I mean, he might even get more satisfaction in winning pitching like he is now than he did back when he was blowing a ball by people 95, 96 miles an hour.
He was put on the disabled list in April with an arthritic right knee condition, and rehabbed. He thought seriously about retiring. Walt Jocketty, the general manager, said hang in there, see if it doesn't get better. Well, it did. Still not great. He wears a big knee brace on that knee. The strike is called on Pokey Reese. But Andy Bennis has been a godsend for this St. Louis Cardinals team. All trials and tribulations of the St. Louis Cardinals franchise this season. There's the knee brace you talked about. Andy Bennis making his 27th career appearance against the Pirates. 12-7, a 4.53 ERA lifetime against the Bucks. Pokey Reese leads off with a 3rd straight game. This is fouled back. Reese was 0 for 3 on Saturday, but he did score a run, drove in a run, and he was 1 for 4 with a run scored yesterday.
And hitting up at the top of the lineup now like Reese is instead of that 8 spot will allow him when he does get on to make very good use of that speed, the base stealing ability that Reese possesses.
Lays off that pitch. It's 3-2 on Pokey Reese.
Basically had handcuffs or feet cuffs, I guess. When you're hitting 8, you get on. If there's less than 2 outs, you're being sacrificed to second. If there is 2 outs, you can't run. Get that pitcher out of the way.
Man, look what I found. Andy Bennis, he took a shot.
He's waving off any help from the trainers, but they're going to come out anyway. Try to get this in the ribs.
Hard to see from that angle, but
I think it got him in the side and just kind of crawled down his leg.
You know, it's almost like he knew he got hit pretty good, and he just didn't want to even think about it. Waved the trainer, let's move on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know exactly what his mindset is. Hey, let's just go.
Yep.
I got hit. Coming out here and talking about it's not going to make it feel any better. Let's just get the game going. The best medicine for that is, you know, as long as he is okay, as long as it's just a bruise, he got hit somewhere, is just get the game going and get your mind off it. Now, if it smacked him in the elbow or something, well, then that's a different story. You got to go out there and you have to go through this. You have to throw a few.
Andy Bennett since July the 24th. Been tremendous.
Great timing for the Cardinals. They really needed some help in that starting rotation at that point. Astros really coming on, trying to make a run at them.
Jack Wilson, the former Cardinal prospect. Ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out. Pirates have lost 9 of their last 12. Andy Bennett's first player chosen in the 1988 free agent draft. It's Wilson.
They threw a fastball out there for strike 2 that was on the outside part of the plate. Jack thought he was going to do it again, and it was a breaking pitch. And Jack's bat probably about 6 or 7 inches too short to even get a piece of that one.
Jason Kendall fouls it off past third base coach Trent Jewett. Kendall hitting just 190 in his career against Andy Bennett. A 282 hitter on the year. Leads the Bucks in hits. 120 hits for Jason Kendall this season and 425 at bats. Also leads the club in that department. And we're talking about milestones during the Pirates pregame show over the past week. Kendall had his 1,000th hit the other day, not this time right at Albert Pujols. So the Bucks go down in order, and now Kip Wells takes the ball to the hill against St. Louis. We're back to St. Louis, and we'll take a look at the starting lineups. Or, I'm sorry, not the starting lineups, but the PNC scouting report.
Kip Wells has lost 4 of his last 5 starts. Druin Martinez is going to be a problem for him tonight. They're 11 for 24, a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs between them. And something interesting, opposition hitting just 222 after Wells has gone past the 75 pitch mark. So Kip has done very well later in ball games. He has stayed strong all year. Opposition hitting about 260 off of him overall, just 222 late in games.
The Hyundai Pirates defense. Adam Heisdu takes over for Giles in left, Rob Makoviak in center, Craig Wilson in right, Aramis Ramirez, Jack Wilson on the left side, Pokey Reese, Kevin Young on the right side of the infield, and Jason Kendall does the catching. Fernando Vina, first of 3 straight left-handed batters facing Kip Wells.
Druin Martinez, I was very surprised to see their strong numbers, and then Edmonds not doing anything against Wells. Edmonds is 0 for 7.
Easy play for Jack Wilson. Yeah, Drew 5 for 10 against Kip Wells.
Drew is hitting 8 when the Pirates are at PNC Park. Move him all around in this lineup. He is anything but a prototypical 8 hitter. But he has not lived up to his expectations here in St. Louis. Look at his number, just a 260 batting average. Not where he should be at a guy that has his baseball tools. Excellent speed.
And Wells falls behind him 3-0. Pitch walk to J.D. Drew. Wells has walked just about 60 batters now in 149 innings. With 105 strikeouts.
Drew this year has stole just 8 bases, only been caught twice. Listen, you hear things, grapevine type stuff when you're around ball clubs and on the road. And heard an interesting deal today that there's speculation that perhaps Drew may go somewhere else, maybe traded, try and get some pitching help, and maybe also free up some money so that they can sign Rolen to a long-term contract. And I guess most of this grows out of the fact that Drew has not become that solid superstar player that they had hoped.
Jim Edmonds in the right. Runners at the corners. Jim Edmonds did practically nothing in the 3-game series against the Phillies. So they did a real good job pitching against him.
They got the ball in on him, from what I understand. Did a great job of doing that, and that's what the Pirates have tried to do. But they just haven't accomplished that, haven't executed that strategy. The Phillies were able to do that very well, so they kept him quiet. I was really watching Drew going from first to third. That nice easy gait of his. He is a guy that, as far as his physical baseball talent, he could become one of the star players in the National League. He is close,
but he's a risk.
Yet. Yeah,
he's a risk. Ball one on Albert Pujols.
All of them are.
Yeah, but Drew brings a pretty substantial package with him as far as the contract is concerned. The first-round pick in the '98 draft. Remember, he refused to sign with the Phillies. They wouldn't meet his offer. And as Bob said, so much expected of Drew upon his arrival in St. Louis. We remember the '98 season. We saw a lot of the Cardinals and Drew. He hit .417 in a couple of weeks with that September call-up. And then he hit .242 his first full year.
Which is about where, for instance, Bonds had his first year.
There's Walt Jocketty, the general manager. Hit .295, Drew did in 2000 with 18 homers and 57 RBIs, and looked like he was going to be close to busting out. This is fouled off. Last year, 27 homers, 73 runs batted in. Tony La Russa talked about needing to have Drew in the lineup every day and producing for the Cardinals to succeed. That was it. We talked about a lot in spring training.
He only has 346 at bats. So 345. That's adding one for tonight, but he got the base on balls. Pretty mature in that.
Fly ball center field. This should score Drew easily. Makoviak will throw to second base. And it is 1-0. The sacrifice fly for Albert Pujols. That's his 94th run batted in this season. He is third in the National League in RBIs. Lance Berkman of the Astros. Sammy Sosa of the Cubs with 96.
Number 21.
Drew maybe has not panned out quite as good as they expected, even though the numbers he does put up are pretty respectable. But boy, how about Pujols? Talk about somebody panning out.
Jeez.
Tremendous rookie year, and a lot of people around the Cardinals think that he is even better this year, even though the batting average not quite as high. Edmonds just 3 steals on the year.
Pitch out.
The Cardinals don't run a ton. Renneria leading the team with 16 steals. Vina behind him with 15.
One ball, one strike now on Tino Martinez. He was 6 for 12 with a pair of homers in that series at PNC Park. stays 1-2. We're talking about how it's going to help to have Scott Rowland on the club, because he's noticed how Rowland approaches hitting, and he said it helped me realize I needed to get back to that. You can succeed without hitting home runs every time up, not pull everything.
That's probably the thing that gets more good hitters in slumps than anything else, is they start being conscious of pulling the ball out of the ballpark. Get into more bad habits. Front shoulder starts coming out. You start lunging, trying to get out in front of that good fastball, not let it get in on you, not let it get deep into the strike zone over the plate.
Popped up in foul territory. Ramos Ramirez makes the catch. The walk hurts Kip Wells because J.D. Drew would score, and after one, it's 1-0 St. Louis. Second inning, Ramos Ramirez leads off. Thomas McMahon of Youngstown, Ohio, is the Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant, facing Andy Bennett, Ramirez, Makoviak, and Craig Wilson. Strike on a Ramos Ramirez. And the count 1-1.
You see what happened to Ramirez this year, the way his numbers have fallen off. You look for reasons. I wonder if when he came back off that disabled list, maybe feeling a little bad about what had happened to him, and did he start being a little home run conscious and get into a bunch of bad habits trying to pull the ball? I mean, his strength is staying in there and driving the ball to right center. Perhaps he got away from that a little bit. Dave Clark, the hitting coach. Well, Dave, that was one of his things too when he was playing, staying in there and driving the ball hard the other way, not pulling the ball. The way Dave hit, he should be very good, very conscious of keeping guys from getting pull crazy.
Ramos Ramirez, a rare walk.
Breaking ball well out of the strike zone.
Tonight, Washington head coach Rick Neuheisel will tell the guys if the Huskies can contend for the national title this season. Plus, from the upcoming boxing movie Undisputed, actor Ving Rhames and Colt wide receiver Quadra Ismail drops by, tells the guys if Indianapolis will win it all this season. It's coming up tonight following Pittsburgh Sports Tonight right here on Fox Sports Net.
Hey Greg, when I went out for Tommy's wedding out in Vegas, we got to win a little sightseeing. Got to go see the Hoover Dam.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's some.
Is that right?
Some structure.
Yeah. Rob Makoviak counted 2-0. 2-1 now. 14 home runs, 38 RBIs for Makoviak. Two and two.
Makoviak's probably the guy that you would really look to maybe, you would hope, get hot right here, power wise hot. being a left-handed hitter. He's the natural guy that maybe would replace Giles for a little while.
Routine double play ball. But Kodiak hustles to beat it out.
What did Renneria do there?
Don't know.
That's what Vigna's asking. Vigna's going, what's going on there? Well, watch Renneria. and then Martinez just misses a routine fly. Renneria went after that like
it was the final out of the inning.
Yeah, and just kind of flipping it all.
Like there were 2 outs.
Like he had all the time in the world.
The Bucks get a break there.
You're right. It was a routine double play ball. They turned it into nothing. They turned it into a force out. Let's see if we can make it hurt. Watch those radar gun numbers up there at the top of the screen, and you can see where Bennis just does not have the zip on the fastball that he has been used to in his major league career.
One ball, one strike to count now. Andy Bettis has gotten some tips, he says, from Chuck Finley on forkball, which has helped him. And it's 1-2 on Craig Wilson. 10th start of the season, 11th appearance for Andy Bettis. Righties hitting just over 200 against him. 34-year-old Andy Bettis from Evansville, Indiana. And the runner goes, and it's fouled off.
Just a straight steal. Makoviak trying to get into second base. No hit and run. Wilson, Craig Wilson, he steps out every time and looks down for a sign, but I don't know really what he would be looking for in this situation. Can't be a hit and run. Can't be looking for the take. Not looking for a bunt. And it doesn't matter if you know that the runner has a green light or not. If it's a strike, you still got to swing at it. It's not like you take a pitch and let him steal.
Andy Bettis once traded to the Seattle Mariners for Ron Vallone. Runner goes again, and it's bounced toward the second base bag, and Vigna gets out of the way for Renteria.
Again, that was just a straight steal by Makoviak. He's moving along, trying to steal the bag, but Wilson cannot, take a pitch and let him run. There's 2 strikes. Has to swing at it if he thinks it's going to be strike 3. Because Makoviak was stealing on the pitch, they stay out of the double play. See if KY can tie this game up with a 2-out RBI.
Young's batting average is now above the 250 mark. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games, during which time he's batting .320. But still, with runners in scoring position this season, he's hitting just .176.
Bennis is just trying to stay away from everybody. 90% of his pitch is fastball, breaking ball, doesn't matter. He's gone away from these right-hand hitters. Maybe with 2 strikes he might come back in. Yep. He did that with Wilson also, but until he got ahead, he was staying away. Trying to double up inside. You can see 84 miles an hour. There's just not a whole lot left there velocity wise. Some of that velocity loss is not all just getting old and wear and tear on the arm. It can come from not being able to push off with that back leg like he used to. When you start your delivery, that leg wants to bend inward at the knee joint, and the knee doesn't bend sideways. There's a lot of pressure that's put on the inside part of that knee at delivery, and that's where most of your pitchers end up blowing out and having the knee problem.
Appeal. First base umpire Jerry Lane said Young offered the strikeout for Andy Bennis. Gets out of that trouble spot. 1.5 plate from St. Louis. Cardinals lead the Pirates 1-0. Well, the Cardinals lead 1-0. A wreath placed by the Enos #9 sign. Enos Country Slaughter passed away last week. A moment of silence before the game for the former Cardinals great. And the radio booth. Tribute to Enos Slaughter. Mike Shannon on the phone. The Cardinals radio booth. Strike is called.
I think he swung at it.
He did.
Doesn't matter if you fall down or not. Watch the bat. Yeah.
Look how. I'll tell you what, that's as good a job as I've ever seen. I'm not trying to break the plane. He went all the way down to the ground and didn't move the bat. His whole body twisted. That was pretty good. A contortionist.
A lot of times I guess it's easier to stop that bat than your whole body, and the body is what drags the bat through the zone.
If Wells gets the strikeout.
Drug it through there for strike 3.
Brings up Kerry Robinson. Go to MLB.com, the ultimate baseball website. Listen to game day audio and watch baseball's best and more exclusively at MLB.com. MLB.com.
Now, Roland was in the original lineup that I saw this afternoon. Did you see that also?
I did not see the
up
original.
On the board. So in my mind, that makes Robinson a late addition to the lineup.
Uh-oh, that's not a good thing.
So I think we got to keep a watch on him.
Okay.
You know my theory about late additions.
I know it. Jack Wilson has to hurry, and does. 2 outs.
I'm going to say hi to the Vic Curry family.
Yeah, they give you a note.
The Vic Curry family of St. Louis would like to say hi to the John Curry family. I guess that's Curry, K-O-U-R-Y. Of Pittsburgh. John, Barb, Melissa, Jennifer, and looks like Doug. So Vic and the crew are saying hi. I think they're up here somewhere around the one of the radio booths.
Oh. Ball and a strike on Mike Matheny.
Gonna make the crowd looks like. Not as many folks here as I kind of expected. A lot of empty seats, especially around the upper deck area. Second deck here, I guess. But it's kind of camouflaged as always because the seats are all red and half the fans are in red shirts, so it's kind of tough to see them. Oh, we understand first day of school here in St. Louis, so that could be a reason we don't have a fuller house. You come into the Busch Stadium here and you're just used to seeing, no matter, it doesn't really make any difference where the Cardinals are in the standings either. They always have a good crowd here. Love their baseball in St. Louis.
Yeah, they sure do, don't they? Struck him out looking.
Good curveball.
Cardinals go down in order. We have played 2 innings here at Busch Stadium. Adam Heisdu leads off for the Bucks.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by UPMC. Choose your health care as if your life depended on it.
Back at Busch Stadium, and the Pirates trailing the Cardinals 1-0. Adam Heisdu, interesting to watch him tonight and through this series. Heisdu 9 for 16 this season with 13 RBIs against the Cardinals. Heisdu in that series, the 4 games, was just 1 for 3, but walked 5 times. And interesting, sometimes you see players when they get, as managers will say, overexposed. In fact, McClendon said that. He said, have we overexposed him? Maybe, because he had that great run. We needed somebody out there. Maybe we got to pick our spots. A lot of times see players just, their batting average plummets, but in Heisdu's case, his walks have gone way up.
You know, one of the things, Greg, too, that, you know, I think the only way you can overexpose somebody is if you're in a pennant race and you've overexposed somebody so it's hurt you. When you're not in a pennant race, Pirates are not playing for the playoffs. Pirates are playing for the future. And I don't necessarily think with guys like Heisdu you're overexposing them. It's more like you're trying to find out what kind of player are they. And I think that's what the Pirates really have done.
Oh, another shot. Dennis knocks it down.
If you don't throw a guy into the deep end and let him sink or swim, sometimes you'll never really know. And a lot of times they're going to sink. And that's, you know, that's just, you know, having to figure your team out for the future. That wasn't really hit as quickly as it looked. Dennis able to go out there and actually make a little adjustment with the glove and knock it down. You know what I mean, Greg? There are guys I think that you're going to play and you're going to think, well, they're probably not going to do anything. But you still got to do it. You still got to run them out there. You got to find out.
Problem is twofold in that. I know what you're saying exactly. I agree with you. But you have a guy in Lloyd McClendon who's fighting for his job.
Well,
essentially,
okay, I understand.
He wants to win because they're going to evaluate. Dave Littlefield has said we will reevaluate Lloyd McClendon and the rest of the coaches after the season. He's got 1 more year left in his contract.
So you got to win.
He needs to win games. And
well, looking at it from that point of view,
but at the same that's the catch-22 I think the Pirates find themselves in, because they at the same time need to find out what these guys can do. Even if it means losing games. You know, how many times
I'm looking at it from a long-term, you know, like perspective here of the far as the Pirates are concerned.
Yeah.
They have to find out things about players.
I know it.
And so that's why I don't think that this is a situation where, you know, Heisdu, are you overexposing him and hurting the ball club and maybe losing some games you shouldn't? You know, I don't know. That's an argument I guess you could make. But Wells going to drop this one in front of Robinson for a hit. 1 out single. Good job by Kip. Kip's done a good job with the bat this year. First year swinging it. Well, join Guy Junker and Pat Paris right after the game for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You'll get an injury update on several of the Steelers that were injured last night versus the Redskins. Steelers rookie wideout Antoine Randall L. is catching on with the Steelers coaches and the fans. And the Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac takes a sneak peek at the brand new public golf course in Cranberry, Greg. It's up by our neighborhood. Might have to take a sneak peek of that ourselves one of these days.
It'd be nice to get a real good look at that golf course, Bob. You and I, maybe a couple others, and bring a foursome out there. Maybe talk about it on the air. Really pump up the golf course.
Yeah.
Have somebody. Oh, a line shot past Pujols, which runners at first and second. So Pokey Reese has hit the ball hard twice.
I want to in what we were talking about there with Heisdale. You're right. The Pirates are between a rock and hard place. I guess Mac is wanting to win, but at the same time having to play some younger guys and find out where they fit into the plans long term here with the Pirates. And that is a little bit of a balancing act, a juggling act.
Wilson pops it up. Shallow right.
Really able to close on it in a hurry. But I guess also, Greg, in any organization, and not just the Pirates, this is a general comment, that general manager knows what he has asked the manager to do as far as, you know, playing guys that maybe aren't the guys you would go out there if it was very important to try and win every single game that you could. And you would think that they would take that into consideration when they look at that one-loss record, those numbers.
Jason Kendall, on the one hand, an enjoyable homestand in that he picked up his 1,000th hit, but not thrilled that the Pirates lost the first 5 games of the homestand. And Kendall was 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position. He left 11 men on base in scoring position, second and or third base over the homestand.
He never has ever been, you know, a real strong RBI guy. Throughout his career, the one area where he has done very well on offense has been in scoring runs, not knocking them in.
Did he? No. So here's another situation. Man in scoring position. Just 1 hit and 18 at bats on the homestand. Situations like this. Dennis gets him. Still 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the third. Welcome back. 1-0 Cardinals.
Well, if you would like to contact any of our announcers or production team with your questions or comments during the Pirates telecast, log on to foxsports.com on Lycos. Keyword is Pirates Booth. And if Mark Vodonik lets us read any of them, we'll try to respond to them on the air, time permitting. Mark Vodonik is the guy that you have to talk your way past to get to us. So make it a good email.
And good luck.
Maybe.
Good luck. You'll need it.
Can be any subject. Doesn't have to be about baseball. Whatever. Fishing. Today we're real good on fishing.
Does Mark like that? If he likes the subject, yeah. He says he likes fishing, so go ahead. Ken Biggerstaff talking to some Pirates on the bench.
First love, is it soccer? Is that what Mark
I think
loves?
so. Penn State football and any kind of soccer. Rugby is third.
curling. He's a big curler.
Yeah.
Electric curlers.
Well, watch out for Andy Bennis.
He can hit a little bit.
7 career home runs. Wells will get his mound opponent. Rounder to Pokey Reese.
Don't hit at that guy if you want to get on.
Now it's Fernando Vina. Pokey Reese going to try and wrestle that Gold Glove away from this guy. Vina has committed 10 errors this season. Pokey Reese with 5.
Pokey's offensive numbers are right there with Vina's, and that, for some odd reason, seems to always play into things. And guys who have been fielding well throughout their early career suddenly blossom into good hitters. They get noticed more, I guess, and they start getting a lot more votes for the Gold Glove. Pokey this year hitting about 260, 3 home runs, 40 RBIs. Compares really nice with Vina's 268, 1 home run, 43 RBIs. Some great glove work and holding his own in that number 8 spot all year. That's a tough place to hit. You would think that Vina would see a few more pitches to hit. A few better more. And guys like Drew and Edmonds, Pujols hitting behind him. And the pitcher.
2 outs in the 3rd. UPMC injury update. He's not on the list, but Brian Giles not able to start the game. Ron Malone is on the DL, and he's on the trip 15-day disabled list with left elbow tendonitis. The others, you know all too well, Pat Mears and Dave Williams. Brian Giles, that calf injury, he had played 117 straight games, and he injured that calf on Friday night. Did not play it all over the weekend, and Lloyd McClendon says he's hopeful he'll be ready tomorrow. Now, yesterday, in the 7th inning, I believe it was earlier in the ball game, he had Giles come out on deck with 2 outs to make it look as though he's going to pinch hit Giles. Well, the inning ended, and later on in the ball game, in a pinch hit situation in the 7th, he called on Rob Makoviak rather than Giles. And we asked McClendon today what that was all about. He said Giles was not going to hit. So apparently not well enough yesterday to pinch hit, but he used him to try and bluff Jerry Royster. Three and 1 on J.D. Drew. On deck, Jim Edmonds. Drew walked and scored in the 1st. Full count. To right field. Craig Wilson decides to pull up Looks as though had he continued full throttle, might have had a play on it. He's probably thinking about it right now.
He might not have got a good read on how hard that ball was hit right off the bat. And just a little bit of an early hesitation will rob you of that chance of coming in and making a good play. That's why those real good Gold Glove type outfielders usually not only have pretty good speed, but they have that uncanny sense of how hard the ball is coming off the bat. Was it a little bit of a jam shot? Was it off the end of the bat? Very seldom see those guys change direction in the middle of their flight to the baseball, because they read it correctly right away and make those calculations up there as to what angle they should take to arrive at the baseball. I bet you good outfielders are good pool players, calculating angles. You play outfield or infield when you were growing up?
I played mostly outfield, and I'm a terrible full player.
That's where I was going.
J.D. Drew will motor to third. Craig Wilson throws over that way. No chance. And just like the first inning.
Now this time there's a couple of outs though, so the sacrifice fly strategy won't work. Pujols flies out to center field. That'll be it for the inning. Edmonds 2 for 2 tonight. The Phillies had him figured out, but we do not. And nobody figures this guy out for long.
Deep and gone.
Trying to go inside with a fastball, and boy, it got it there, but Pujols definitely guessing inside. See how quick he opened up that front shoulder and that front hip? He had to have been looking in there to get to that ball that quickly. This ball might even be off the plate a little. Look at the front side open up. That ball is a ball 5 inches off the plate inside. Now, a good 3.
Wow.
And he got the bat out there and pulled it into the seats for a home run. That's quick. He had to have been guessing a little bit there, an inside fastball.
Wow. Albert Pujols against the Pirates this season. 8 homers, 21 runs batted in.
Well, Wells is throwing that fastball 94, 95 miles an hour tonight. I didn't see what that one was, but he's been throwing pretty hard. Dennis just said that the home run ball was 92. So still not bad to have it turned on like that when it was off the plate inside. Well, Spin might give a visit here shortly.
Albert Pujols now 1 shy of the RBI lead in the National League with his 4 ribbies tonight, and he still has a couple of bats left. Lance Berkman had 2 RBIs and a home run for the Astros today, so Berkman has 98. Pujols now leapfrogs Sammy Sosa in the RBI race. He has 97. Cardinals pick up where they left off at PNC Park on Thursday. Here we are. Berkman again picked up a couple today. So he has 98. Kip Wells 3-8 over his last 14 games since May the 29th. Not all his doing. He's not gotten a lot of offensive support. Still, he was 8-2 at the end of May. He has dropped 8 of his last 11 decisions, and here trailing 4-0. Strikes out Edgar Renteria for the second time. 3 Ks for Kip Wells, but the big blow, the Pujols 3-run bomb. It's 4-0 Cardinals.
Sportsnet's exclusive coverage of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Thank you, Bob. Here in St. Louis, the Cardinals lead the Pirates 4-0. Like the camera you were using for the fishing trip.
Very similar.
During the Pirates pregame show. Hope you saw it. Bob and Spin Williams fishing up in Erie.
I have to give a plug to our buddy up there, our fishing guide, John Bodner, the fish man. He really takes care of Spin and I. Shows us all the hot spots. John's up in Alaska now doing some guiding fishing. That's where he spends his summers.
It must be pretty good. He had a pretty hot spot for you and Spin there.
Actually, it's the talent, the fishing talent that Spin and I have that mainly is responsible for catching all those fish.
I can just see the fish man in Alaska right now watching this game on satellite and chuckling. Talent. Popped up. Catch made. Now that water was about what, 5 inches, 6 inches deep?
It was in September. The water's always low in September. And gin clear. It's tough to catch fish at that time.
Well, we have a tough Aflac trivia question for you. Who are the only 2 catchers, stay with the fish theme, to lead a league in triples in a season? One did it in the American League, one did it in the National League. Pulled foul by Rob Makoviak. The only 2 catchers to lead a league in triples.
I knew one of them. The other one was very surprising to me.
It's 0-2. In the old days, it would seem as though a 4-0 lead against Andy Bennis, at least from a Pirates perspective, was far from insurmountable. But this new Bennis, we're kind of concerned about it.
He hit him better when he was a hard thrower, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the strikeout total now at 4. You would think without that good fastball that we'd be getting the piece of the ball at least more often. It's not the case.
Matheny over to take a look. It'll be several rows back. Bucks have lost 8 of 13 against the Cardinals this season. And St. Louis starting the day 5 up on the Astros, with Houston 1, so it's 4.5 right now. Leading the Cincinnati Reds. Look at the standings. The Reds at the moment are 6 out. Well, got a piece of Craig Wilson. He leads the team in that department. That is the 14th time that Craig Wilson has been hit by a pitch this season. He trails only Craig Biggio and Fernando Vina in the National League.
He never gives ground, gets up on the plate, stays right there. Let's check the email. Is that Janelle Durrani? Uniontown? Is that how you say that, Greg?
I would guess.
Question is, I've always thought that Pokey should bat leadoff, followed by Jack Wilson, Jason Kindle, then Brian Giles. Do you think this will work better? Well, I've already talked about Jason not being a run producer. I don't think that he should be in the middle of the lineup. I don't think he's an RBI guy at all. And Pokey obviously has the great speed to bat up there, but Pokey at this point has not shown that his on-base percentage is high enough to be at the top of the order. But he can fly. If he could get on base more, that'd be a great solution. But I don't like Kindle in 3, 4, 5 area. Those are spots you're going to have to drive in runs, and he's never been able to do that.
I mean, at this stage, frankly, he's probably a better 2 or 8 hitter.
Most likely.
An ideal, really potent lineup. That's where Kendall would probably bat.
You have to feel very satisfied that you got an email by our screener.
Yes.
He is so picky. I want to start those emails up. Dear Mark,
I've always admired your work.
Mark does a lot of the graphic stuff that you see.
Well, heck, the email you just saw.
All that stuff. Mark is responsible for putting the graphics. He's not the only one that's responsible,
right,
but he's one of the big kahunas down in that truck.
Kevin Young flies out. Bucks going quietly against Andy Bennis. 4th inning, 4-0 St. Louis. Nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Time for the Aflac trivia question, which again was the only 2 catchers to lead a league in triples in a season. Bob knew one of them.
Tim McCarver is the one that I guessed correctly. The surprise, Carlton Fisk. I was never picked that. I didn't know Carlton was such a speedster in his younger days.
Speaking of that, Kerry Robinson to bunt. Good play defensively by Kip Wells.
It's the only way he could. One with the bare hand. If he tries to go glove, Robinson beats it out.
Show your Giant Eagle Advantage card night, Tuesday, August 27th. 1 week from tomorrow, the first of a 3-game homestand. All 3 games against the Atlanta Braves. The only time the Braves come to town. Show your Advantage card at the PNC Park ticket office. Get $4 off a reserve seat based on availability. That is 1 week from tomorrow. Giant Eagle Advantage card night. Mike Matheny takes the strike. Tim McCarver had 13 triples in 1966 to lead the Cardinals. Lou Brock was on that club. Brock had 12. And Roberto Clemente finished 3rd in the league with 11. Ramos Ramirez cuts that ball off and guns it to first.
Now, Greg, if you hit the ball and run all the way to 3rd, that doesn't leave you an opportunity to steal a base. You have to stop at first or second. Rammer far to his left. 4 or 5 steps before he got to that ball. Had plenty of time with Matheny running. Eli Marrero on the bench, also a catcher for these Redbirds. One of the faster catchers in baseball. I imagine that if he was caught every single day, he'd have a substantial amount of triples the way he can run. He also plays a lot of other positions, even center field. That's the kind of speed he has. They'll put him out there on days where Edmonds sits down.
Eli Marrero is really one of the underrated players in the league.
You know, next time we do the email early like we did tonight, we should ask to see if anybody can guess the athlete.
That's a great idea. That is.
Yeah, and then somebody gets it right. Let the world know how smart they are.
Oh, that's a tough hop on Pokey Reese. They will give Andy Bennis a base hit.
A jam shot, one hopper. Pokey playing it off to the side with the glove behind him, trying to get as much room in between where that ball hit the dirt and his glove so that he has more time to make an adjustment to make the catch on the hop. And the ball hopped up higher than he thought. He tried to bring the glove up, but just didn't get there in time. Got him on the heel. There's two things you want to do as an infielder, that hop. You want to get as close to it as you can, so it's only hopping 3 or 4 inches into your glove, the short hop, or you get as far away from it as you can, so when that ball hits and moves, you got time to make your reaction to make the play. You want the long hop or the one that's real short, not the in between. Turf repair by Pokey. And you hear us announcers up here using our announcer lingo, like in between hop. That's what we're talking about, that medium one where you didn't get on top of the ball and you didn't get far enough away. I think that's announcer lingo or player lingo, in between hop.
I think it's probably player lingo, don't you?
We just picked up on it?
Well, the announcers pick up on what you guys say, yeah.
What are you guys? I'm an announcer.
Oh, come on. You're still a player.
No, I'm
You
not.
act like one. Come on.
I think the players should pick up the announcer lingo.
Actually, sometimes they do. More routine. And Vigna is out 4-3. And the Bucks are down 4-0 as we head to inning number 5 in St. Louis. Adam Heisdu, Kip Wells, and Pokey Reese do up against Andy Bennis.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Cardinals up 4-0 in the 5th. Adam Heisdu lined a shot back to Andy Bennis.
We need some offense. Needed soon. Getting into the 5th inning, which is a Giant Eagle home run hitters contest inning. Donna Morrison of Venus, Pennsylvania. It's up by Mars, isn't it?
Adam Heisdu hit his 8th home run of the year yesterday. Eight homers and 110 at bats.
Greg, don't you think that Adam would just about have to just fall flat on his face the rest of the year, not to go into the winter thinking that he has finally proven himself at the big league level? I mean, maybe not, you know, who knows, as a everyday starter, but as at least somebody that's a 25-man roster guy.
You'd think so. You'd think he could help the club.
Well, join Guy Junker and Pat Paris right after the game for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You'll get an injury update on several of the Steelers that were injured in last night's game versus the Redskins. Steelers rookie wideout Antoine Randall L. is catching on with the Steelers coaches and their fans. And the Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac takes a sneak peek at the brand new public golf course up in Cranberry. And that is right next to Mars. I do know that. Who would win an 18-hole match at the new golf course in Cranberry, Greg or Bob?
Flip a coin.
No. Greg would dominate.
No. Not true.
If I played my best, I might shoot like an 89, where Greg would be, if he played really well, 83, 82. That's the honest truth. And of course, we could both be at about 104 also.
Now that's the honest truth. It's hard to say, though, because I don't think I've never played that.
Steve's the golfer in the course. Yeah, we've never.
Steve would probably like that.
Never had any invitations to go out there.
Oh, what a life Jerry Dulac has, huh?
Yeah.
They invite him onto all these courses.
There's the golfer.
Steve loves to go. Lanny golfs. Strike 3 called on Kip Wells. 6 Ks for Andy Bennis.
Steve is the legitimate.
Yeah.
I mean, guy that's going to throw a low score up there every now. I mean, he can be in the low 70s. Got kind of an Arnold Palmer-like swing.
Combination of Palmer and Furyk.
Is he staring at that white wall for that? Furyk, you think?
Yeah.
A little combination?
Yeah. And Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore.
One thing, if you go golfing with Steve, you are entertained.
You do it quickly.
Yeah, you play fast. I guess like playing a round of golf with Bob Hope.
That's exactly right. Meanwhile, Andy Bennis
chugging along.
Yeah, just what the Cardinals needed. Aside from the injuries, of course, the sudden passing of Darryl Kyle in June. Pitching staff was really in trouble. Chuck Finley was added to the roster in a deal. That helped. They wear that DK57 on their sleeves, and on the other side, the initials of Jack Buck, longtime voice of the Cardinals. Fly ball to center, catch to be made by Edmonds. Another routine inning. At the halfway mark, Andy Bennis is shutting out the Pirates 4-0. Andy Bennis talking to Tony La Russa. What has he done tonight? Well, just about everything. Glove knocks that one down. He's racked up 6 Ks in 5 innings. Another nice play. The Pirates can't figure him out. And now Bennis gets the base hit in the 4th inning past Pokey Reese, so he is doing it all for Tony La Russa. J.D. Drew leads off. He's walked and singled. A walk in the 1st inning. Moved to 3rd on Jim Edmonds' base hit to right, and then scored on Albert Pujols' sacrifice fly in the 1st. This is popped out of play. The Cardinals players really starting to feel very confident about the way the club is going these days. They're getting the solid starting pitching. They've got the tremendous offense up and down the order when Scott Rowland is in there. There's Rowland. And of course, with that guy, Albert Pujols, he's as hot as ever. Got the combination of the younger players and mixed in with the experienced veterans.
But they probably do feel confident right now, but to really have confidence going into the postseason where they can really have a shot at the World Series, you think they're going to have to pick up another starting pitcher before September 1st?
I think
that's the way I look at it.
I think Walt Jocketty looks at it that way. And Tony La Russa knows it. That's no secret. There's Jocketty again. He won't give up the search. Drew. Fly ball, shallow. Heisdu comes in. One out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brings up Jim Edmonds now. Skip Wells retires Drew for the first time. Edmonds has singled twice and scored a run.
With Rowland missing a couple of days with the bad shoulder, it reminds not only the Cardinals but every contender how quickly they can get themselves in trouble if they get some bad timing on some injuries here this time of year, and throw all the plans, everything they've laid out down the tubes. Make all the right moves to get yourself in a position to win it. A big injury in your bullpen starting rotation someplace in the middle of that lineup, and all that's for nothing.
The bullpen.
Even though the trading deadline has passed now, to make a trade, all you got to do is get a guy through options, and that's not as difficult as you would think that it would be. I read the other day that the entire roster of the Texas Rangers have cleared waivers. In fact, Texas just made a trade, didn't they, Greg? The weekend while I was gone. It'll come to me in a moment.
I'm trying to think who they got. Where they traded. They're unloading players. Well, they had him played perfectly. The shortstop Jack Wilson throws out Jim Edmonds, so
didn't have to
he is retired for the first time tonight. Coming up tonight, Washington head coach Rick Neuheisel tells the guys that the Huskies can contend for the national title this season. Plus, the upcoming boxing movie, Undisputed. Actor Bing Rames is on, and Colts wide receiver Quadre Ismail drops by to tell the guys that Indianapolis will win it all this season. The All-Star Summer continues tonight, following Pittsburgh Sports Tonight here on Fox Sports Net.
Sometimes those injuries can be out there, and you just have to hope they're small things, like a dam with a leak where you can just plug them up with your thumb and don't have that dam break, flood you.
Wow, what an analogy. My, hadn't thought of it that way.
You got me on that one.
Interesting approach. 0-2 on Albert Pujols.
Just like a leaky dam.
I'll have to remember that one. Ismael Valdez, by the way, was sent to the Mariners in that deal with the Texas Rangers. That was the trade to which Bob was referring. It's 2-2 on Albert Pujols. 29 homers, 97 runs batted in. Talk about absolutely unbelievable numbers the first 2 years in the big leagues. Last season, 37 homers, 130 runs batted in, to go along with a .329 average. Albert Pujols. It's his third year of professional baseball. Dominating almost at the age of 22. A 13th round pick in '99 by the Cardinals. Rounds this to Aramis Ramirez. He throws across to get Pujols, and for the second time the Cardinals are retired in order. 5 completed Busch Stadium. The Cardinals lead the Pirates 4-0.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Jack Wilson will lead off for the Pirates, then Jason Kendall and Aramis Ramirez. Trailing 4-0. Andy Bennis, who last Wednesday pitched 6 innings and gave up just a couple of runs against the Pirates, continues his superb work. Bennis in his 3rd season, his 2nd go-round with the Cardinals. Signed as a free agent before the '96 season and went 18-10. This is pulled foul. The next year won 10 games, an ERA of just over 3. Following the '97 campaign, he signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks as a free agent. Rolled back to the mound. A little high throw, but Tino Martinez goes up and gets it. 1 out in the 6th. Bennis, double figures in wins back-to-back years with the Diamondbacks. 14 wins in '98, 13 the following year, and then re-signed with the Cardinals before the 2000 season. Spent about a month on the disabled list with the right knee problems 2 years ago. From Evansville, Indiana. He will turn 35 tomorrow. Left field, going back is Robinson to the warning track. Bennis seems to be doing this without a whole lot of effort.
No, gave up just 2 hits last week through 6. And has given up 2 hits here, and we're in the 6th. 12 innings pitched and only giving up 4 hits. That's having it easy.
High pop.
It might stay in. Nope.
Pujols and Renteria.
I thought that ball looked like, you know, the way we can see it from our booth, right down that foul line, looked like it was sliding back toward the playing field. And that's what most of the balls will do, because of the spin, the backspin coming off the bat, especially the ones that are right behind home plate. As they start their their trip back down toward the field. They will move toward fair territory. It's why catchers always put their back to the field when they're going after the ball. They know the ball will come to them. They don't put their back to the field. If they face the pitcher's mound and try to catch a pop fly, that ball is going to be moving away from them as it comes down.
Foul pop, first base, Martinez. Pirates go down in order again. Andy Bennis, 2 hitting the Bucks.
Well, we are back here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, bottom of the 6th inning. Cardinals really having a pretty easy time of it right now. Bennis throwing the 2-hit shutout. Martinez, Renteria, and Robinson face Wells. Koviak's going to have that one easily. What's on tap? Brought to you by Coors Light. Well, tomorrow we're here against the Cardinals, an 8-10 start. Chris Benson versus Luther Hackman. Fox Sports Net coverage begins at 6:30 with Sports Beat.
Luther Hackman pitched well enough last time to get another start. Josh Fogg will face Chuck Finley on Wednesday, and then the concluding game of the series on Thursday. Brian Meadows tries to follow up his strong start against the Brewers. He'll be opposed by Jason Simon Tachi. You talked to Spin Williams on the radio side before the game.
Yes,
Mainly about the bullpen
and steelhead fishing.
Of course.
No, I talked to him about the changes in the staff over this last week. Jimmy Anderson going to the bullpen, Bronson Arroyo getting called up, Manzanillo getting released, Malone going on the disabled list, Al Reyes coming up.
Good play, Ramirez.
So what do you want to know? Oh, ask me after this. Kids Get In Free Day, Thursday, August 29th.
What?
Versus Atlanta, 12:35 p.m. Kids Get In Free.
No
Kids
way.
age 12 and younger get in free. Bring your child to PNC Park's ticket window, day of the game, and get a free admission. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS for more information.
You have got
As if I haven't given you enough information.
Kidding me. No way. Kids Get In Free.
12 and under.
Wow.
29th against the Braves. Bring them to see the big bad Braves.
Jeez. Unbelievable. What a promotion that is.
Now, what do you want to know about pitching? And
everything.
Spen told me, you got to ask a question. Spen gave me all the answers. Talked to him about Manzi, Bronson, Malone, Reyes, and Jimmy Anderson. Bronson Arroyo was put in the starting rotation because he was having success as a starter in triple play, and they didn't want to mess with him.
In triple play?
In triple A. Did I say play? I might have said play. He was playing in triple A. I might have put those two together. And to do that, well, Jimmy Anderson had to go to the bullpen. He was the odd man out.
Bounced on the right side. Kevin Young and Tip Wells has set down 7 in a row. So the Pirates offense has to get up off the deck, trailing 4-0.
Watching Fox Sports Net's exclusive coverage of the Pittsburgh Pirates. zip St. Louis. Pirates again, they need offense. Just 2 hits. Our Giant Eagle contestant, you can see up there, Michelle Morocco. Is that Morocco, Craig? Oh, was it Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
Michael Morocco. I was trying to figure out how to say Morocco and didn't look at the first name.
There we are, Michael Morocco.
Morocco. Is there 2 C's in Morocco?
Apparently.
From Sharon, Pennsylvania. Is that how you say that?
Yes, that's it. Ariel Sharon, Pennsylvania. Folks and Sharon, don't be upset. Bob knew what he was saying.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I don't think Andy Bennis is kidding around anymore.
No, he is not tonight.
And he strikes out Makoviak looking. 7 Ks. What is going on with Andy Bennis?
This is shaping up to be one of his top games. No matter how hard he throws. I know he had some dominating games back in the old days with that dominating fastball, but I can't think. He had too many as easy as it's been tonight with the strikeouts and just 2 base hits.
His season high K game was against the Atlanta Braves. 4 starts ago. Struck out 8 in 7 1/3.
A little test for him might be to see how deep he can take this effort. If this was 7 or 8 years ago, the way he is pitching, you would definitely expect him to finish it off in the 9th. I don't know in this one. Mr. Duncan will help Tony make that decision. So far, Duncan likes what he sees. Nothing but donuts up there for the Pirates.
Oh. He walks Craig Wilson.
Well, join Guy Junker and Pat Paris right after the game for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You'll get an injury update on several of the Steelers that were injured last night versus the Redskins. Steelers rookie wideout Antoine Randall L. is catching on with the Steelers coaches and their fans. And the Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac takes a sneak peek at the brand new public golf course up in Cranberry.
Craig Wilson took off on the first pitch to Kevin Young, and it's fouled off.
Now nothing is working, just trying to hit Bennis the conventional way, so perhaps they're trying to shake things up a little bit and a little hit and run action right away, even though they're down by 4 runs late in the game. Bennis right at 100 pitches you saw. Now he has jumped ahead of Kevin Young 0-2. There's a Steeler fan. He would probably be very interested to check on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, see what the Steelers are up to. You saw our pregame show before tonight's ball game. You saw that Klein was up in Latrobe. You said, Greg, he went to West Virginia?
Yep.
Huge Steeler fan. That got in a little bit on Kevin Young. He tried to keep his hands in real close to his body with that swing, but quite get the head of the bat to the baseball in time.
Adam Hyesdu lined one back to the box and struck out so far against Bennis. Not a full swing. Renteria on to first. Andy Bennis shutting him out through 7.
Well, as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, let's check in with our Los Angeles studios for a sports update.
Lewis, bottom of the 7th inning. Andy Bennis, a 2-hit shutout going as Jim Edmonds talks on with Dave Duncan, Chuck Finley, and Bennis. Tonight, Washington head coach Rick Neuheisel tells the guys that the Huskies can contend for the national title this season. Plus, from the upcoming boxing movie Undisputed, actor Bing Rames is on, and Colts wide receiver Quadre Ismail drops by. Will Indianapolis win it all this season? The All-Star Summer continues tonight following Pittsburgh Sports Tonight right here on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Bennis certainly has it going. The Pirates just unable to do any damage at all. Bennis has to be very proud of the way he has turned things around here in the last month or so. As we were talking earlier too, it came at no better time for the Cardinals.
Mike Matheny and then Eduardo Perez will pinch hit for Bennis. Or will he?
Well, he's over 100 pitches.
Yes, he will.
It's going to be it. Strong game, though. And I do think if this was a few years back, there's no way he comes out of this ball game at this point. And heck, the way he could hit, he might even go deep. So that's another reason he would have been left in there in the old days. Weimel and to stop throwing, so he's ready.
This is Eduardo Perez.
Not much to look at there with that batting average. You see the 8 home runs. He does have some pop in his bat. You got to be careful. Those 8 home runs coming just 114 at bats this season. Seen limited work. How about that? How many bunt base hits do you think Perez has this year?
None.
I'm thinking that would have been his first one.
It's one area that I assume will improve next year when Aramis Ramirez gets the 6 weeks off that Lloyd McClendon says he has to have to be totally 100%. But Pirates are just getting killed with those infield singles, whether they be bunt hits toward third or just dribblers. It's getting to the point that you wonder if the Pirates might consider defensively just to play Ramirez back almost all the time, figuring you're better off giving him more range and an opportunity to cut off hits, because so few times, even when he plays in, so few times does he record the out.
Well, Perez has tried to bunt for a base hit. He had squared around that time, looked like he was sacrificing, and Ramirez still back on the dirt. And I understand Perez does have a bunt base hit this season.
Okay. Runner goes, and the throw is going to be in time to get him.
Now they take the bunt off, go hit and run, and Perez comes up empty. And nice strong throw by Kendall. Right on the money. Easy tag for Pokey Reese. Came with a breaking ball. Perez could not get a piece. Ooh, I'll tell you what. Matheny does a nice job sliding to the back of the bag.
He was safe.
Yeah, we might have got a call there.
Pokey Reese over. Second out.
Pokey really took that throw too far in front of the bag. You really should take the throws right there at the bag, because it takes much less time for the baseball to travel a couple of feet in the air than it does for you to catch it and then bring it back. Watch the tag. There's the tag, and that. Wait, he might have got in there. That was really a great slide by Matheny. But the ball beat him most of the time. If that happens, the umpire will give you the benefit of the doubt and throw up the out sign. The infielders are taught right away that, don't go get the baseball on those tag plays. Let the ball get to you. It comes to you a lot faster than you can go get it, bring it back, and make a tag. And it looked like maybe even Pokey wasn't sure where the bag was the way he was catching that ball. He might have been a little late covering, but he was out in front of the bag, had to reach back. And now Ramirez is well in on the grass. Vigna up. Bill Madlock really had similar problems playing third base, and he got to where he just played everybody in. He very seldom backed up very far, and a lot of those problems with his throwing arm.
Vigna singles to center.
It wasn't that he couldn't come in very fast, but he really had a hard time making a deep throw. So he played a lot of guys just right there, even with the bag, even though he was on artificial turf most of the time.
Lloyd McClendon will make a double switch here with J.D. Drew coming to the plate, left-handed batter. If Wells will leave, having given up 4 runs to this point and 7 hits, so Skip Wells again will not get that 12th victory.
And again, a lack of run production really is got him. Nothing for Pittsburgh.
Wells leaves. Joe Beimel coming on. Trailing 4-0. Armando Rios takes over in right field. He'll bat in Wells' spot of the order. And then moving from right to first, Craig Wilson. And on the mound, Joe Beimel. He bats officially in the 7th spot that had been Kevin Young's.
Good example tonight, Greg, of how one little thing in a ball game changes the whole way you perceive things, as far as like Kip Wells. Remember that ball that Drew hit in the 3rd inning that fell in front of Kip Wilson?
Yep.
If that ball carries just another couple of feet, Wilson maybe makes the catch, innings over. That's it.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, Wilson or Wells is throwing just as good as business. It's 1-0, and he's tossing a 5-hitter to this point. But just that one play makes this game from like a real close pitcher's duel to a 4-0, and trying to hang on here late. Breaks of the game mean a lot in baseball.
Joe Beimel back in the bullpen. Two and one the count. Back-to-back scoreless outings for Joe Beimel. 29 relief appearances this season, a 3.34 ERA. In 8 starts, his earned run average 5.27. Two and two. Beimel gets Drew. Leaves that man on. Pirates have 2 more shots against the Cardinals. They'll face a new pitcher. Trailing 4-zip. Lloyd McClellan and Brian Giles. We're in the Pirates dugout. 4-0 St. Louis. Mike Crudale's the new pitcher. Great numbers for this right-hander. Andy Bennis went 7, gave up 2 hits, no runs, couple of walks, 7 strikeouts.
What's really awesome about Crudale, just the 7 walks. You love to see that from a bullpen guy. Somebody that you know you can depend on to bring in, and he will throw the ball over the plate. Crudale has given that to Tony La Russa. And a lot of times when you see somebody with hardly any walks, the flip side of that coin is he'll give up a lot of base hits. But that is not the case with Crudale either. He doesn't give up hits or walks. Good combination.
The rookie from San Diego, California, Mike Crudale. Armando Rios, .215 hitter. Inside. Cardinals trying to go 6.5 games up on the Cincinnati Reds in the National League Central and stay 5 games up on Houston in the division. Right side, Tino Martinez. Rios is out, number 1 in the 8th.
Armando has had a tough road as a Pirate. Spring training, you could see that leg was bothering him so much. I knew then that things might not work out for him this year. Start the season out hurt. Reese is in the middle of, I guess, what you could call our only rally tonight. That was pretty close. You weren't even looking.
Where'd that hit?
Hit right there in front of you.
Hit
right there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say something?
I wanted to see if it hit you in the head.
Oh, isn't that nice? I'm helping you in the telecast here, coming up with
hit right
numbers. Why don't you? You're unbelievable.
You wanted to make a great catch and showboat again like the
Sure,
last time.
absolutely.
Well, this time I wanted to see it smack you.
Criticizing me because you didn't think I could make the catch, and then I made the most unbelievable play in history in Cincinnati.
Well, this one I would have laughed. If that would have been just another foot further, it would have landed right on your lap.
Unbelievable.
You see the look that Tommy gave you down there.
No, I didn't.
he threw up his arms.
I knew that wasn't close.
Ask Tommy tonight after the game how close it was.
I know what Tommy will say. Tommy would say that if it were in the upper deck. He'd go along with your shenanigans.
No, you ask him. I won't be anywhere near. Hey, Tommy, that foul ball came up there. How close did it hit? He'll tell you.
I was looking at this, trying to help you with the analysis. That over the last 16 losses the Pirates have suffered, they have been shut out 5 times in those 16 losses. Unbelievable offense.
Yeah, from the very first opening couple weeks in April, we saw it was not going to be good. So this is our Pennzoil protection play. Now watch this, Greg. Here is a routine lazy pop fly to shallow right field, and we're going to follow this up with strike 3 to Kendall. Now both of those came with 2 guys on, and so that shows you just how futile the offense has been tonight. That's what we had to come up with for our Pennzoil protection play. Well, no, it wasn't much, but they're just the Cardinals have not really had to do much.
This is just unbelievable. Wow. Pirates have 2 hits in this ball game.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And by your local Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one.
Well, it's a pretty look at the moon. We wish we had a prettier story as far as the Pirates are concerned, but the woeful offense. Pirates on the verge of being shut out for the 13th time this season. And Jim Edmonds leads off. Joe Bimel's 2nd inning of relief. Goodbye. 24th of the year for Edmonds.
Did you see the swing, Greg? He got everything into this swing. Well, some guys are very short and quick, not much body. He put it all into this one. Watch him go after this baseball, Greg.
Yeah.
Look at that extension. Let the front side open up the arm extension. Follow through. Front hand came off the bat.
Well, the Cardinals are having a party at the expense of the Bucks here. They want another curtain call. Well, whatever the Phillies did, and reports were that they came in on Edmonds with effective pitches, the Pirates aren't able to do it.
They try to get in there. You remember the I guess it was two. Trying to think when that was. The Cardinals were in town before this last time. You remember we're trying to get in on Edmonds and missed inside a few times, and there was that little scrum at home plate.
Yeah.
Perhaps could have been because the Pirates were throwing in on him. We never really did, I think, find out exactly what the trouble was. He and Lloyd started having words with each other during the ball game while Edmonds was hitting. Pujols with a line drive base hit to right. What a great looking young hitter. Pirates with 481 runs this year. Equals $2,405 donated to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. Our Safe at Home auto update. Pujols, so sometimes guys come up with that sophomore jinx at second year after the big season doesn't seem to go well, but Pujols is backing up a fine first year as well as I've ever seen anybody. The way he can pull a home run out of here off Kip Wells, the ball that was inside. And Martinez goes the other way. I was about to say, compare that to that base hit that Pujols lined into right field. And when a guy can hit like that, you can't beat him in off the plate with a plus fastball, and you can't go away. He lines the ball into right field. How do you pitch a guy like that? Bottom of the 8th inning, Cardinals trying to put a cap on this one. Ben Williams has called time. He's going to come out and talk to Joe. Joe did a great job against Drew. Came in and struck him out in the 7th. But now home run. A couple of line drive base hits. Reyes really did a nice job this year in Nashville. Deserved this call up. I'm sure that while I was gone this weekend, you guys talked about his numbers in Nashville. Very impressive work.
Reyes pitched a scoreless inning yesterday in his Pirates debut. Bucks beat the Brewers 3-2.
It's weird being gone 3 days. I felt like I was gone a month. One thing good about when you're away from the team, if you're in Vegas, there's a sports book around every corner. You can see exactly what's happening anywhere. I constantly check and see what you guys were up to, inning by inning.
And a base hit. Down the line it goes. 1 run in. They'll wave the second. Safe at home. 2-run double for Edgar Renteria.
Now Heisler was playing over, trying to pinch off the gap, so the ball got down the foul line, and he had to go all the way to the very corner to get this ball. Renteria knocking in Martinez all the way from first base. And this ball is not hit very hard, just gets out of the infield and just kind of rolling, bouncing along there in fair territory. But Heisler can't get there in time to cut it off, and he's just a step away from the wall, and that step cost him.
Martinez slides in, and now McClendon going to make a pitching change. That's what I was talking about with Aramis Ramirez. It's to the point where even when he's in at third, as he was there, he rarely gets the guy out. You wonder if you're better off just letting him play back. And if he's back there off the grass, he's got to play. But at any rate, the horse is out of the barn. 7-0 Cardinals, bottom of the 8th. 7-0 Cardinals. Joe Bimo gets the last out of the 7th, but nobody out in the 8th. Edmonds homered, Pujols and Martinez singled, Renteria a 2-run double, and the Cardinals just keep clobbering the Pirates. Now Reyes, this is what he did yesterday, the one scoreless. A veteran from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. 31 years old, big league time with the Brewers, Orioles, and Dodgers.
Broke in with the Brewers, I guess, in the big leagues in 1995. Been around a while.
There's a Rule 5 draft pick by the Brewers that year. Took him off the Montreal Expos 40-man roster. Last year appeared in 19 games with the Dodgers. He signed a minor league free agent deal with the Bucks this season, and as Bob mentioned, he had outstanding numbers at AAA Nashville. Eli Marrero bats as the pinch hitter. Thus the reason for the pitching change. Right center, and Rios first out in the 8th. Monday, the Cardinals beat the Pirates at PNC Park 10-6, out hitting the Bucks 16-12. Tuesday, Cardinals won it 9-5, out hit the Pirates 18-9. The next night, 7-3 the final score. Cardinals out hit the Pirates 11-4. Thursday, Cardinals won the game 11-5. They out hit the Pirates 13-6. Tonight, 7-0, and they've out hit the Bucks 11-2. Matheny takes the strike from Reyes. Deep to left. Track. And a nice play by Heisdu. Bring up Miguel Cairo. He will pinch hit. Mike Crudale goes one scoreless. Kevin Joseph will be the pitcher in the 9th. Kip Wells gave up 4 runs in 6 2/3. Bimo goes 1/3, gives up 4 hits to this point, 3 runs. Should do it. Kobiak, and it does. Last chance for the Pirates, trailing the Cardinals 7-0. You're watching Pirates baseball only on Fox Sports Net from Busch Stadium, where the Cardinals lead at 7-0 in the 9th. Next telecast tomorrow night. Hopefully the Bucks will bust out against these Cardinals. And all St. Louis tonight. 7 runs, 11 hits. For St. Louis, Marrero stays in the game in left.
Luther Hackman tomorrow night, making his 4th start of the year against the league. 4th start of the year, period. He goes against the Bucks tomorrow. Joseph's numbers, he's been giving up a lot of base hits, 11 of them in 7 2/3 innings. That's why the opposition batting average well elevated, and going to give up another one. Kendall gets us started. Big mountain to climb, down by 7 runs, but it would be nice to at least take the shutout away. Getting shut out far too often of late. Joseph starting up. Ramirez, a little fastball on the outside corner. It's pretty much what Venice was successful with. Staying away from these guys, working outside, getting them to chase it, some breaking balls off the plate away. Getting ahead quite frequently, just as Joseph has done here. And that's way inside.
Ramirez hit by the pitch, 2 aboard for Makoviak.
Remember the 9th inning they had, I think it was the first night in town, Monday. Similar type of lead, and the bullpen just couldn't seem to get enough strikes in there.
Yeah, was it 9-1? I believe.
They hit a couple of guys, hit at least one guy. Isringhausen ended up having to come in and save the game.
Tuesday night, Pirates were trailing 9-1. La Russa used Matt Duff, Mike Matthews, Kevin Joseph, and Isringhausen in that 9th inning. Pirates sent 9 men to the plate, scored 4 runs, lost the game 9-5. Steve Klein.
I noticed that Klein's got that red hat of his looking just as bad as the navy blue one. I don't know which one's worse. And now one of these hats, I don't know, is it the red one? It's like 2 or 3 seasons old.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
That navy blue one that they wear. We had that on in Pittsburgh. It's just as dirty and covered with pine tar.
Base hit to left, and the Pirates load the bases.
Well, now both the managers going to look at those lineup cards. Mac trying to think of some good possibilities. It's a long ways to go, but you never know. And La Russa, who has probably already tallied this one up in the win column, is thinking, oh no, not again, not another 9th inning like this. Does not want to have to use 3 or 4 pitchers to get this game over with.
Greg Wilson to shallow right. It drops in. That takes care of the shutout. And Kevin Joseph not recording out. That might be it for him.
Klein's probably ready. Abraham Nunez being announced. And you're right. Here comes La Russa. That'll be it.
La Russa goes to the pen again here in the ninth. Pirates are trailing 7-1. Nobody out in the ninth. Cardinals, top of the ninth. Pirates have the bases loaded. Nobody out, and left-hander Steve Klein on for the 46th time. Numbers not nearly as good as last year for this left-hander. Trying to get it together. Steve Klein led the league in appearances last season with 89 at a 1.80 ERA and 9 saves for the Redbirds. He'll celebrate his 30th birthday 3 days from now from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and again the West Virginia product. Ball one on the pinch hitter, Abraham Nunez. Nunez hitting 121 as a pinch hitter.
The pinch hitting numbers for the Pirates are not very pretty as a whole this year.
No, not good.
Not just Nunez.
169, the Pirates team pinch hitting batting average.
They've only had 3 home runs this year off the bench.
Nunez does good work in his career in these situations, bases loaded. But he's in the hole 1-2, and Klein gets him. Adam Heisdu tonight has lined back to the box, struck out and grounded out. Adam Heisdu had his first career grand slam a few weeks ago against these Cardinals. July the 19th. At PNC Park, Adam Heisdu hit the grand slam. Two and two.
Keep the line moving any way you can. Take a bases loaded walk. You don't need a grand slam right now.
Right side, sliding stop by Martinez. What a play to get the out there. Heiser gets the RBI, 2 outs.
Cardinals obviously at this point of the game have no problem trading runs for outs. They're very happy to record number 2.
Advance Auto Parts player of the game, Albert Pujols. 4 ribbies, his 29th homer. Part of the 11-hit attack.
Got to give an honorable mention to Mr. Bennett. He did a heck of a job tonight. 7 innings, giving up just 2 base hits.
When you have a team that struggles anyway offensively, the Pirates, they can ill afford to lose their biggest gun of all. Leads the team in just about every offensive category. He's in the top 10 in many National League offensive categories. Brian Giles. They snuck past the Brewers 2 games, but they miss him.
He's out for any length of time. He's going to show up.
Yeah. This should do it. It does. Cardinals win the first game of this series. Andy Bennis is now 3-0 with a 1.14 ERA over his last 5 starts. Let's head it back to Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.